In this fourth talk on the series of forgiveness, let me quote that verse from Mark 11:25 again, from a different translation. It says, "When you stand praying, forgive, if you have aught against any." Perhaps you've heard of a man called Smith Wigglesworth. Well, in one of his meetings many years ago, he refused to pray for a lady. When she asked him why, he told her it was because she had bitterness in her heart towards a lady who was in the service that night. So she went back to the lady and gave her a cold, formal handshake. Wigglesworth shouted to her, "Lady, you will die in your sickness if you don't repent and make things right." As 5,000 people looked on, she put her head on the lady's shoulder and began to sob and ask for forgiveness. The other lady did the same. Suddenly it started to spread through the crowd, and folk began to forgive one another. Wigglesworth shouted back to her, "Come on up, and I will pray for you now." She answered, "You don't have to. God has just healed me." Now, I don't believe for a minute that everyone who is ill is holding a grudge or a resentment. But before you take another step today, check your heart. Be honest before God, and if He brings something to your attention, deal with it. Forgiveness is for our benefit and your benefit, not just for those who you forgive. It positions you to receive, like I said yesterday, God's blessing, and takes away any ground the devil can have to attack you. Listen to what it says in 1 John 3:21. "If our heart condemn us not, then we have confidence toward God." Do you know, this lady, as Wigglesworth said, held a grudge. And so because of that grudge, something got held up in her life. Holding grudges can separate you from God and from people. Let me tell you a story. You come across the famous brand Adidas, haven't you? They make wonderful trainers. It was founded by Adolf or Adi Dassler, who made sports shoes in his mother's scullery, as a name from the past, which is a laundry room in Germany after his return from World War I. In 1924, his older brother Rudolf joined the business, which became known as the Dassler Brothers Shoe Factory. Dassler developed spiked running shoes using canvas and rubber, and in 1936 persuaded Jesse Owens to wear his handmade spikes in the 1936 Olympics in Berlin. Following Owens' 4 gold medals, the name and reputation of Dassler Brothers became known to the world sportsmen and their coaches. The business became very successful, and Dassler Brothers were selling 200,000 pairs of shoes every year before World War II. However, in 1947 the brothers split. Now, I have no knowledge of why they split. I don't know if it was for personal reasons, business reasons, family break, I just don't know. But because of that split, Rudolf formed a new firm, which he called originally Ruder, from Rudolf Dassler. Later he rebranded it Puma, and Adolf formed his own company called Adidas, from Adi Dassler. Puma and Adidas entered into a fierce battle. Their business rivalry was intense after the split. The town's 2 football teams were supported by Adidas on one side and Puma on the other side. When handymen were called to Rudolf's house, they would deliberately wear Adidas shoes So Rudolph will go out of the basement and get them brand new Puma shoes. The brothers were never reconciled, and although both are now buried in the same cemetery, they are as far apart as possible in that cemetery. Even in death, they are on either ends of the cemetery. Isn't that sad? Two brothers that had a wonderful business partnership got split up, and the gap got wider and wider and wider. That's what happens when unforgiveness dominates our lives, when we're not prepared to forgive. All this week, we've been looking at the power of forgiveness and the power of unforgiveness. And wherever you are today, whatever you're going through, it's important to live in forgiveness. Remember what I said just now? It positions you to receive God's blessing. Surely all of us today want to receive God's blessing in our lives. I don't want you, by the way, to go raking through your mind for all those things that you might think you need to be forgiven for, or all those people. But where you can, like I said this week, make amends. Do what you can to live in God's blessing. I want to live in God's blessing today. And those blessings are so profound and so wonderful. I want to experience them. So I pray today. Let's end in prayer again. Lord, I just pray, just like the lady in Smith Wigglesworth's crowd, when she forgave, healing came to her. Physical healing, mental healing, perhaps spiritual healing, I don't know. But I know that when she leaned down that lady's shoulder and forgave her, not only did she get affected, but the whole crowd, we are told, began to forgive. So when we forgive, it's like a ripple. It actually extends all over the place. So help us to be people of forgiveness, that will influence other people to forgive as well. Amen.